So we're here at Mobile World Congress 2026 with Samsung and AMD. Great to see you guys. Going to talk about the partnership you have. Stephen at Samsung, tell us a little bit about the background, how you're working together.
Yeah, well, the relationship and the collaboration has been absolutely fantastic. We initially started working on vRAN, and the objective was to get performance and capacity up to, carrier tier 1 grade. We've achieved that, and what was really interesting about that is we've achieved it without any hardware acceleration, which was a fantastic achievement. But that's not the only thing we've been working on. A couple of the other things we've been working on is obviously we've got a virtualized core. We've now deployed that on our AMD CPUs, and a very interesting product that we've sort of showing up here in Mobile World Congress is our network in a server, which is where we have both our virtual core and our virtual RAN deployed on a single AMD CPU. A lot of interest in that, a lot of interest from both carriers and from enterprise.
I'm hearing that tier 1 performance message. Derek at AMD.
It's actually a privilege to be able to work with a partner and a customer like Samsung, largely because innovation is at the core of what the company does, and we share that lineage also. It's critically important for us that we work on problems, solve business level problems with the products we deliver, and part of the feedback that we received in partnership from Samsung was, hey look, we need a highly dense core that can be put into a carrier grade environment and can deliver power efficiency. And to do it in such a way that we eliminate the need for, just like Stephen said, accelerators, other devices that are special purpose, that can be costly, they can be power consuming. And together, we actually were able to deliver that. So for us, it's fantastic to be able to take semiconductor technology and apply it to system level challenges and deliver business outcomes for the operators.
Yeah, okay. Stephen, tell us then about some of the milestones in the partnership you have.
Well, there's been a couple of really tangible things that we've done in the last year or so. I guess just we announced here at MWC, or just before MWC, we're deploying our virtual core in Canada for Videotron, but the 4G, 5G core on AMD CPUs, which is a big milestone for us and for the Canadian market. We've also worked on network on a server, which I just mentioned, which is our virtual core and virtual RAN on a single server working on AMD. And we've been working very closely with the team on the Serrano 84 core product. So we've now achieved up to 47 cells of capacity and performance on that, which is huge. That's going to give both teams a lot of things to go and talk to operators about, and hopefully make some operators happy and make some sales.
Yeah, I think the best thing about it is exactly what Stephen was alluding to, is we're moving now from what was a stage of verification, testing. Obviously in these networks, operators rely upon outstanding service and reliability, and that's what's core to the Samsung brand. And for us, being able to work in tandem with them to make sure that we've vetted out the solutions in a very material way, highly valuable for us from a validation perspective. We're super proud that the AMD EPYC products that are at the core of both the core network products and the vRAN products are able to enable that with them.
Yeah, it's very impressive. Tell us, and Derek, about how else you, together as a partnership, can take this to operators and sort of add value for them.
Well, I think if you're sitting in the world of operators today, there's a few things that you really, really care about. One is performance, the other is efficiency. And those two things combined together actually fit very well to the innovation that Samsung and AMD have developed jointly together. The product that we deliver that's at the core of a lot of the work that Stephen was talking about is an 84 core product, consumes less than 225 watts, and it allows operators to actually bring their power down in aggregate because they're using this combined solution together, but also it delivers outstanding performance. What we're talking about is supporting 47 cells in a single server utilizing this technology, and that carries great value because it actually delivers super high bandwidth and performance.
The EPYC performance density.
Yeah, from our perspective, we've been steadfast in our sort of strategy that, one, we're going to be cloud native, everything's going to be on our software. But two is that we want to offer our carriers optionality, and that is that we're going to offer them options on hardware, options in CPUs, and options on that CAS layer. And it's absolutely vitally important for us that AMD are part of that ecosystem. They bring, as you mentioned, a low power, high capacity, high performance, and high core product to us. That's extremely important, especially as we go into the era of AI. We're going to deploy our product. We're going to have potentially additional CPUs available to our carriers that maybe want to put some AI workloads on them, because you don't necessarily need to have a GPU, but you can do it on CPUs. And I think that's essential. There's a lot of innovation out there. There's a lot of need out there, and I think the carriers are going to, work with us and work with AMD very closely to make sure that they get advantage of that.
Fabulous. From AMD and Samsung, thanks very much.
Thank you for your time.